Welcome back, family. Welcome back to What's the Juice at the Juicy T 1111 Energy. Here is the energy, okay? All I heard is you don't care. You don't care, you don't care, you don't care, okay? You don't care no more about what people think of you. You don't care anymore about how people perceive you. You spent your whole life being a people pleaser, trying to make sure everybody else was happy except for you. You spent your whole life living under propaganda, living under lies and deceit, trickery, manipulation. Everybody judging you just because they were following the crowd. They were following what they thought was the majority. They were following what they thought was better than you. Some of y'all enter and understand the fact that you are pure D balance. You are yin yang energy, period. They could take it or leave it. You are both dark and light. You have embraced both. You understand that being of the light is your higher self. You understand that being of the dark is bringing in balance where it has been imbalanced for a very long time. Bringing in that balance got other folks out here crying over some shit they been doing. But look who's here, stays here. Archangel Michael. The divine intervention and protection. That's who you are. You're divine intervention and protection. You've seen things for a very long time go down. And people for a very long time have painted you out to be the bad guy, the bad gal. But you already knew what time it was. Everybody wanted to look at you and point fingers at you and judge you and call you names. Everything but the child of God is the names you were being called. For whoever's resonating with this. I done heard some of y'all was called in lovers. That's jacked up. Damn. Ooh-wee. But that's just it right now. You don't care. That's your energy. You don't care anymore. Okay, so thank you for the likes, shares, and the subscribes. Thank you for tapping back in. Let's get to the message. I call upon the divine light to surround me. I invite my ancestors, guides, and protectors to stand with me. No lower energy may enter this space. Only what serves truth, healing, and highest good is welcomed here. And so it is. Ashe. So I feel like with this Archangel Michael coming out, divine intervention and protection, I feel like this is the shift. This is the time. This is the times that we are living in. Tell me more about why Archangel Michael is here, Spirit. Because of the portal of ascension. Didn't I just say this is the shift? I can't make it up. Yeah. And because many of y'all got betrayed. That's why divine intervention is here. Pretty much. Yeah. You've walked through the portal of ascension. You're going through a profound spiritual awakening, a natural awakening, a natural process of evolution that involves shedding the old self. Your inner rebirth is taking place. And it all happened because you got betrayed. You've been betrayed. And this could have been someone close to you. This could have been many preying on your downfall. But whatever happened, divine intervention stepped in because you were betrayed. Message. That's why you're looking at folks right now as they boo-hoos over things that they swear for God you were benefiting from at the bottom of the deck, chosen one. 144. They swear you were benefiting from them. Now they sitting up here like, you like, yeah, no. Shit. I feel you could count on one hand the times you leaned on any kind of system. Because it was never within you to, be able to live under some sort of unemployment, because half the time you was getting fired while everybody else was getting laid off, and you already know the name of the game. When you get fired, you don't get unemployment benefits, but those other folks, they was getting laid off at 444, so they was getting them unemployment benefits. You feel me, family? That was a betrayal in itself, right? Because you were being fired for no reason other than one reason. Yeah. We all know what that reason was. Very biased. Very biased. Okay? They're upset. Now, why? Because you are the chosen. You are a part of the 144,000. Yeah, you have a divine mission. And that was to ignite that fire within. And once you ignited that fire within, all these folks that's running around now going through this unemployed type of energy, this unemployed phase, yeah, they want to blame you. Nah. They've been living high off the hog way before you were. I never knew folks could work and get food stamps. Shit, I was always told when I contacted the food stamp office if I was making $12, that was too much. Message. I had to be zero income to get them young benefits. And wait for it, in Texas, I swear to God, this chick called me and told me if you own a car, you couldn't get food stamps. I said, what you mean own a car? Shit, you want me to be carless too, so in case I had to, and that was during COVID, right? Look, everybody else, let me tell y'all, they was living off of 24 months of unemployment. You know how many months of unemployment I got? I got 4 months. Denied the rest of it. Was denied the rest of the unemployment. Sure was. And then when I moved back home, all of a sudden they released it. I said, well, why they release it all of a sudden? That's how they was doing. So see, folks are going through things that you've been going through your whole life. And it's not that you're cold-blooded, you're cold-hearted. It's just like, shit, look, stop crying about that shit, because when we were crying about it, when you were crying about it, family, you got nothing. This is what you got. When I looked over, you got the deuces. They left you with energies of just walk away. There was no communication. None. You were just told a flat no. Sell your car. You looking like, what? Okay, sell your car. Oh, damn. Really? Now you got people out here all over the internet crying about food stamp benefits. But shit, I met a lady in the nail shop in Texas. She was like, oh yeah, me and my mom get food stamps and we both work. I looked at her, I said, what? White girl. I said, damn. They told me, hell no, I couldn't even get it and sell my car for some money. 755. I said, well, I'll be damned. Right. See, you've always moved with the energy of Venus at the bottom of the deck, which is love. You've always had this energy of love. I feel like you're a hopeless romantic for some of you. Some of you, I don't want to say you're a hopeless romantic. You might be a hopeful romantic. But either way it goes, you've always moved with love, and love is one of the highest vibrations. There are other higher vibrations, but love is definitely one. That's when you realize everyone is always one. We're all one. You know, we just are different flavors, different ice cream flavors. You know what I mean? That type of energy. So because you're Venus, you've always been victorious, and that's why the divine has always assisted you. You don't care about what other people think about you anymore. You may used to, especially when they were giving out this bad propaganda, calling us welfare queens and shit, and we looking like, what you mean? Shit, we could barely get anything. You got to literally have zero income to get some food stamps. I ain't lying. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, apply for food stamps. You'll get them. I'm like, who gonna get them? I've tried. They told me no. And I mean more than once. That's why God said level up. Yeah, that's why the divine creator of all living things, source, your angels, your ancestors, your spiritual team, they had you level up. You leveling up right now. Because I promise you, the propaganda they was running was straight propaganda. It was all lies and deceit and manipulation. Now they finding out they're the ones that's really on the benefits. They're the ones that have really been benefiting. The same gatekeepers that were keeping you locked out of jobs or dangling carrots in your face, you praying that this is going to be the last damn job you own because you done been through so many of them just because motherfucker got mad at you, used you up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then once they felt you had nothing else to offer, it was a reason to not lay you off, but just flat out fire you. You like, well, hold up, what I do to get fired? Well, this is an at-will state. Bitch, what? So you could just wake up and say, I don't like your motherfucking ass. So you gone? Damn. Now these motherfuckers is running around figuring out this is an at-will government. Message. Okay, Spirit, tell me more. That's why you had to level up, family. You had to level up. The divine was like, shit, you didn't need them no way, Newt. You didn't need them no way, Newt. Because you're the goddess of the sky. You're the protector of the dead and the living. You the one that rejuvenates your people, Newt. You get them goddess codes, yeah. No fuck shit allowed. That's your energy. You be like, miss me with the dumb shit, Kate. I don't have time. You don't have time, family. You don't care what nobody think about you. You are total balance. When your enough was enough, it was enough. It was enough. A lot of folks, man, they were upset at that. They still are. They're really pissed off. But damn, aren't these the same people that were holding you back? The gatekeepers, making sure that all the programs that you were supposed to be able to access because you've been working, baby. Let me tell you something. I've been working since I was 8 in my aunt's health food store. I couldn't stand ordering Shackley products. That book was so damn thick. My first real paying job, I was 13. McDonald's. Right there on I-70 in Peoria. I was doing double shifts. Getting off at 4 o'clock in the morning, had to go to and then had to run home, get dressed, and go to school. Yeah. Then they changed the laws when them 2 kids got killed at that subway. Yeah. See, Archangel Raphael and Basset stepped in on this energy. Yeah. Healing light, a protector, the demon tamer, the guide, the heart chakra, tied to that Venus. Demon slayer, tied to these folks that betrayed you. Basset here, more protection. Okay? Fertility, children. You could be a mother, and that's your energy anyway. I just want to say you have a nurturing energy, a very protective parenting energy. Women's secrets, the home. Yeah, you faced the storm, and you have reclaimed your power. That's your energy. Masculine or feminine, flip the roles as you see fit, but that has always been your energy. You've always been a nurturer. You've always been a fair game player. You was like, shit, you just want the best for everybody. But then you had to look at some things for what they were. That's really what you had to do. You had to look at some things for what they were. You wanted the best for everybody, but did everybody want the best for you? Nah, they didn't. You didn't want to believe it. But, hey, they say actions speak louder than words. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The rebirth and change. The storm bringer. The protector of children and spouses. That's who you are. That is your energy. Straight up. You are into protecting all. Children, spouses. Some of those spouses, they betrayed you. Now they going through it. Now they feeling it. Now they wishing they hadn't betrayed you. They know where their karma's coming from. But guess what? You don't care. Okay, tell me. You don't care because you blocked them. You have blocked them. Why? Because you have always been this star child. You have always been a divine being. You have incarnated from the stars. Highly sensitive children, and you could be very sensitive to energies, and you could feel the energies around you. And where you used to care and used to put all your heart into making sure everybody else was okay, you always neglected yourself. Now, You have no longer decided to neglect yourself. Now you know the specific mission to create a betterment in our world is where you're at. You don't care about who's affected, who's crying, because it's like, wait a minute, when you were affected and crying, it was grab yourself by your bootstraps, pick your shit up, and keep moving, and that's been your energy. You didn't get a chance to be unemployed. The few times you were on unemployment, it was like, shit, man, they fucked you off. It was like, what? I'll never forget, y'all. I was unemployed. First of all, I got laid off. Should have never been laid off. The year after I was laid off, they made a new rule. If a person's laid off, you can't turn around and affect them in any kind of way. But I was fired. Okay? First of all, I got fired. And I was like, well, why did I get fired? Why did I get laid off? Those types of energies. But in this particular energy, I was laid off. So I was able to get my unemployment. But see, when you're a light worker, you don't follow the rules because you govern yourself. So you don't want people coming to tell you shit. So you do with the right thing. So in doing the right thing, I found another job. Shit, I made $1. $2,001. Lost that little temp service job through Apex. Apex is a rotten motherfucking temp service, okay? Don't ever fuck with Apex. Wait, is it Apex? Yeah, it's Apex. Don't ever fuck with Apex, y'all, okay? Nevertheless, yeah, you that generational curse breaker. I get laid off. I get fired from Apex for no reason at all. I go back to my unemployment. It went from $500 and something every 2 weeks to $150 every 2 weeks. I said, you got to be kidding me. See, these motherfuckers that been doing you dirty, now they out here whining, crying like babies. You don't care. And that's just you being strictly balanced. Because what is good for the goose was good for the gander, was it not? 1717. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it is. So now you have people out here, and I mean, you've been through this your whole damn life. For whoever's resonating with the testimony, because this is a testimony and it's half a reading. Okay? Whoever's resonating with the testimony / messages, okay? You done been through it your whole life. You got people crying like a motherfucker. They ain't been through it but for a few months. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Yeah, these is folks that they ain't gonna be able to do what you did. They ain't gonna be able to break free from this energy that they got carrying around on them. I promise you, family, they can't. See, you broke away. You are the generational curse breaker. These people ain't gonna be able to break away. They're not gonna be able to break free from this energy. See, they're too much in their head about they're blocked. I was depending on that. See, these were the very people right here. Yeah. Freedom from bondage, mind, body, and soul. They've never been in that energy. They've never been in that energy, family. They have never been in that energy. Freedom from their mind, bodies, and soul, and being bound. See, they were bound to the propaganda. They were bound to, you know what I'm saying, the bullshit. They were bound to feeding into the lies, feeding into the manipulation and the deceit and the trickery, trying to paint you out as being the one that was receiving all the benefits, receiving all the goods and all that. And if people really knew your testimony and your story, they would be like, damn, that was a lie. Yeah. It was always game on when it came to you. Yeah, ain't no more game on. Ain't no more game on. Don't none of them have the abilities you have. They don't have the abilities to tap into their spiritual guidance. None of them have ever been psychics, ever. And I don't want to say you're just a psychic. I feel like you're very, it says here, clairvoyant. Clairvoyant, future teller, prophet, sensitive to supernatural forces and influences. They ain't never been that. Because I'm telling you, you already know who was guiding you. Most of these people didn't even believe in a God. Now they really sick. And wait, this is funny. I'm just going to tell them how it is. These people are up here, oh, Trump this, Trump that. Trump ain't going nowhere. I'm just going to tell them, see, this is, and it's not that I don't want him to. I'm neutral. I'm just going to lay it out there for you. I'm neutral. Trump ain't leaving the office. Welcome to dictatorship, America. And that is the sword of truth. Welcome to dictatorship, America. And people pissed because they're like, oh my God, we want him out of there. We can't go through this. Nah, there's a whole new thing coming up. Let me show you what it's about to be. I already told you. Yes, you getting some healing knowledge right now. Prepare for it, family. Prepare for it. You've already prepared for it your whole life, especially if you were born to a certain group of people. This is what the divine was preparing you for. That's why your energy is, I don't care. And it's not like, oh, I don't care because of da-da-da. No, it's just like, shit, right now, this is divine timing. This is divine intervention. You don't care about what's happening because it's always happened to you. So now that others are going through it, it's like, well, why don't you care? It's like, because shit, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You've been telling people for a very long time, please, let's get together. Let's be good to one another. Please stop these horrible rumors about my people. Please don't look down on us like that, because it's not like that. Shit. Somebody need to go watch Django, I heard. At the bottom of the deck, fertility and overflow, the Nile, in the flow of abundance, and embrace that flow, family. Because you've been trying to tell people for a very long time, what you do now has got to come to an end sooner or later. For the watchers, for the gatekeepers, for the ones that tap in thinking you can't find their IP addresses, like you don't know where to go look. That type of energy, you know what I mean? It's like, you were tired. You were tired of giving your energy away and caring about everybody else and their well-being and hoping that this and that and the third form, when the whole time they were not reciprocating that energy for you. They couldn't stand you. They hated you. So your energy is just mutual right now. You're mutual to the circumstances. Your energy is where it is. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You just don't care anymore. Because the time you were caring, they were shitting on you. You were down and they was keeping you down. So now you like, damn. I went to the divine. I said, how should I feel about what's happening? The divine said, sit back and chill. You tried to warn them. Okay. Message. All right, family. So I'm going to leave that energy here. I love you and the divine loves you. Thank you for tapping in. If you have yet to subscribe, I welcome you. But there's no pressure. Take your time. Okay. Thank you so much for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, the donations, tapping into the messages. I am truly grateful. Let's close out. I refuse to hold on to any of the weight of the matrix and its deception and betrayal. I stand rooted in my truth. I call back my power, my light, and my peace. I am whole. I am becoming. And so it is. Ashe. And until next time, you know what I love to say. Have a magnificent day. Ashe.